What's up, guys? Mickle here, and I don't think there's many questions out there that one of the biggest reasons Ripple and XRP are currently in this ongoing case against the SEC is because some of Ripple's biggest competitors, specifically Ethereum and the Ethereum Foundation, weaponized the SEC against Ripple. Well, in this video, I want to show you a massive problem that Ethereum is not going to be able to escape. Right now, there is a race for each one of these major blockchains to take over as the new future financial system or the platform for that financial system. I want to show you something wrong with Ethereum that will never let it obtain this status, and this is something XRP already has going for it. This is going to be a massive catalyst for XRP to really become this platform that the world needs. Make sure to stick around for this whole video. This is so important to understand. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Make sure to take a second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, I have to start out this video with a quick shout out to Ewin Racing. They actually sent me the chair I'm using right now, and I told them when they sent me this chair I wasn't going to review it unless I absolutely loved it, and I do. This thing is outstanding. I'm pretty sure it's the best chair you can get for your money. Now, this is the specific chair they sent me right here. It's adjustable in almost every single direction. It doesn't bend at all. It supports my back well. It's super comfortable. I have seen no breakdown in any part of this chair. It's absolutely outstanding. Prior to getting this, I was actually just using some cheapo chair I got on Amazon for like $100. It was falling apart. It was destroying my back. The armrests were falling off in a couple months. I do not see that with this one at all. This thing is by far the best chair I have ever used. It's better than the chairs I use at work. So make sure if you're looking to get a new chair, you check these guys out. It's only $369, which I know might sound like a lot on the surface, but typically to get a chair of this quality, you're paying like $600. And just so you guys know, if you go through the link in the description of this video and use the code down there, you will actually get 20% off this price, which really makes this what I think the best deal you can get for getting a new chair. So make sure if you're looking for one, you check out Ewin Racing. The link will be down in the description of this video. Jump into it, and I want to start off with a quick update in the LBRY case. Now, I actually talked about this yesterday, but I actually got some pretty funny data about just how bad the SEC has done in trying to kill off LBRY. I want to start off with this headline from Crypto Law though, because I think it nails it. The SEC sued LBRY with the sole intention of destroying the company, not protecting a single investor. The remedy phase proves it. And this is completely spot on. The SEC only had one objective when they sued LBRY, and that was to kill the company. The SEC literally told Jeremy Kauffman and the other people at LBRY, hey, we are going to keep this process going until you're bankrupt. The only thing the SEC wanted to do here was punish LBRY because the SEC didn't like their business. Now, this is absolutely disgusting coming from a government regulator. At the end of the day, the SEC should have absolutely no say in what businesses they like, what businesses they don't like, what technologies they think are valid, what technologies they don't think are valid. All the SEC is supposed to be doing is going after fraud and going after accounting issues. That is not what's happening right here. The SEC is trying to pick winners and losers, and the SEC had absolutely no goal of protecting any investors here. Their entire mission here was to try to put LBRY out of business. Now, one pretty funny thing that actually came out of this, and I talked about this yesterday, not only was the SEC unable to kill the LBC token, they were unable to get the judge to admit that the LBC token was a security, they were unable to do anything about it trading on the secondary market, but not only that, but we actually see right now the Odyssey platform, which is owned by LBRY, is actually the most popular decentralized social media platform in 2023. The SEC tried to kill LBRY. They failed. LBRY's platform Odyssey is popping off. They also tried to kill the LBC token. That's still trading in the secondary market. The SEC wasted millions of dollars of taxpayer money trying to shut down LBRY and kill this token, and they have flat on their face failed. Now, don't get me wrong, they did inflict a lot of pain to the LBRY team, to people like Jeremy Kauffman, which I feel terrible about, but it does make me happy, and I know Jeremy Kauffman Hoffman is getting the last laugh right here, watching Odyssey absolutely pop off. I hope this project has so much success. The SEC did everything they could to try to kill this thing, and they have just completely failed. And I want you guys to understand, this right here makes me know for certain the SEC will never have any success trying to kill Ripple. If the SEC is failing this miserably trying to kill LBRY, they are never going to be able to kill Ripple and XRP. It's going to be a complete failure. Nothing they're doing right now is actually going to materialize. They're all talk. They're all just trying to make people scared. They're all just trying to FUD Ripple and XRP. But guys, at the end of the day, LBRY is some micro cap company. They are nothing compared to Ripple and XRP. If the SEC couldn't kill LBRY, they are not going to be able to kill a single real project out there. And let's face it, the SEC has been failing miserably against Ripple. This should just make you more confident than ever that when this thing is said and done, Ripple's going to get a slap on the wrist and they're going to go about their day being the most important cryptocurrency company in the world. So now I want to move on and share with you a clip from Darren Moore Jr.'s channel. He actually had Perry-Ann Boring on his channel talking about where cryptocurrencies are going right now. And I thought she said something very interesting about the ongoing Ripple SEC case. And it's going to make it more clear than ever to you guys that XRP is never going to be declared a security in the secondary market. The SEC tried to throw this charge in there out of nowhere. They were crossing their fingers, hoping the judge would be like, okay, you know, I'm not going to look into this. I'll just agree with you because you're the SEC. But let me show you the point Perry-Ann makes right here because it's absolutely critical in showing how off base the SEC is here.
Well, the case SEC versus Ripple, this is a precedent-setting case. What do I mean by that is that the outcomes of this case could set a legal precedent that could impact many other companies in the digital asset industry, plus other companies that are broadly in the capital markets. So the Howey test, the test that's used to define what is a security, it only applies to an initial investment contracts, like the initial issuance of securities and the investment contract. And what's in question is, does that apply to the secondary transactions of the asset of the investment contract or to XRP? And in the 80-ish year history of Howey, it has never been applied to secondary transactions.
So let me just highlight that last part she said. In the 80 whatever years since Howey, there has never been a single scenario in which the secondary sales were called a securities transaction. I remember what John Deaton said so clearly once, when the SEC alleged that XRP in the secondary market was a security, there was no footnote. There is no legal history for what the SEC is trying to do in this case. They are making it up on the fly. The SEC was hoping and praying that they could make up some BS argument and they would get a judge that wouldn't call them out on it. They were hoping they would get a judge that would just rubber stamp whatever they said because they're the SEC and they should be able to make up the rules. Well, unfortunately for the SEC, that is not how it's going to work. The SEC is getting absolutely outclassed by not only Ripple, but the entire cryptocurrency community. The fact that I can articulate why the SEC's argument is flat on its face wrong is a huge issue for the SEC. When the SEC sued Ripple, they were hoping that people like me and you would turn against Ripple and we'd be like, oh, Ripple, give us our money back. I can't believe you sold us XRP. You were breaking the law. That's not what's happened at all. The SEC completely underestimated us. They underestimated the fact that we are a decentralized community using XRP for our own purposes, using XRP for its utility, and the SEC just failed to account for any of this. Their BS arguments were never going to work. Their attempt to try to rewrite the law and change it in their favor was never going to work. And now it is obvious to the entire world that the SEC is not litigating in pursuance to a faithful allegiance to the law. Instead, they're just trying to do whatever they can to get power over this industry. And I want to finish this video off with what I really wanted to spend a lot more time on, but I'll just fly through it and I'll cover it more in a different video. And this is why Ethereum is really going to fail in becoming a platform for the next generation financial system. And without getting too far into the details, one of the biggest flaws with proof of stake is the fact that validators can actually pick what transaction they want to happen first. Because of that, validators can actually cause certain transactions to front run other transactions. Now, this is a system that will never work in our future financial system. If every single time a transaction needs to go through, you have JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs bidding their transactions against retail holders, that is never going to fly and it's never going to work. These massive institutions will just pay whatever they want to get their transaction through, and ultimately it's a broken system. You cannot have a fair, level playing field where people are allowed to front run each other. The only reason that's not an issue for Ethereum right now is because no one's actually using it for anything important. It's just retail holders using it to make DeFi money, trade memes, and play on experimental platforms. But the good news is that is not the case on the XRP ledger. There is no incentive for approving transactions, and it gets rid of the issue of front running. This is going to be huge in the future because let me tell you right now, having certain transactions be able to front run others will never fly in a fair, neutral financial system. It cannot happen. It will never be allowed and it would never work. The fact that XRP has this built into the consensus mechanism is so slept on, but is going to be critical going forward. It's things like these that just show that the developers behind the XRPL have been one step ahead since day one. This is built into the consensus mechanism, one of the most important parts of any blockchain on the XRP ledger, and almost no other blockchain is built like this. This is just another example why XRP is positioned perfectly to be this next generation financial system, while chains like Ethereum have fundamental problems at their consensus layer, and I just don't think this is going to fly in any realistic version of our future. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.